Okay, salt. Salt will change your life. I can't say it more better than that. More better, that's very bad. But it makes a point. Like we say on here, all these little things, allergies, acne, asthma, and all these things will be helped if you come and breathe salt. It is our natural immune system booster. It's here on the planet already. We're here on the planet already. It's hard to believe that we're born on a planet where the things that help us aren't readily available, where we have to actually make them and make them up and all the rest of it. Surely everything we need for survival is already on this earth. Otherwise we wouldn't be on this earth. And this is why there's already salt in the oceans, there's salt lakes in the larger continents, and why natural salt is so beneficial to us. Basically our bodies, our water, salt, and a bit of fat thrown in. We want to get rid of the fat bit. But the water and salt is really good stuff. If we can keep that up to our systems, we'll be healthy. And I firmly believe this because I have not been sick in 8 years. Whereas I was the all the time person, tissue to my face, always sniffing about something, always. And this is how I found salt rooms in Europe. I met some people and they were like, my God, we're so sick of your tissues and boxes of tissues and bins full of tissues. We're going to take you to a salt cave. And I thought, yay, we're going to go for a drive up the mountains, look at some caves. We pulled up at a tin shed. I was like, what? But when we went inside, it was similar to what I've got going now. And I did 3 in a week, and I didn't sniff for about 4 weeks. And I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to do this when I get back to Australia. Nobody's going to hire me. I can't work on Channel 7 anymore because I have dreadlocks. So I'm going to have to do something different. And I did, and it's working. You know, it's helping a lot of people. And that's where I get what I need to get out of it, because people come up to me all the time, go, oh my God, you know, since I've been here, I feel so good. Or since, oh my God, I can breathe through my left nostril. Oh my God, I've been coughing for months and I haven't been able to get rid of it. I've come and done 2 sessions and I'm not coughing anymore. I couldn't believe I woke up this morning and I hadn't coughed. You know, all these kind of things. It is amazing. You just have to try it. I can guarantee you will love it.
How often do you need it, Kat?
If you're just doing it for wellness, it's really up to you. To get over, say you've had a bad bout of, I don't know, COVID or something, and you've got long COVID, you can't get rid of it. You need to do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday scenario, and then step back. And from there, you'll see where you're at with it. It might be that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're fine, and you don't need to come back, but it may be that a week later, you're like, I can just feel a bit in there, I might go and have another session. It's not something you have to do to get over it. For wellness, yes, if you could do it once a week, it'd be beautiful. I have studies that say twice a week will stop you getting a virus. I didn't get any virus over that last thing we had. What was that called?
Correct.
So it's really an individual thing. I don't want to say to you, you have to do 2 a week or 2 a month, because if you've got hay fever, then your situation is going to be different to someone who's just got over COVID, which will be different to someone who keeps getting pneumonia and their chest keeps filling up. But one thing I can tell you is everyone that comes in and says, oh my God, you know, and we have GPs that send people to us now, and they come in and say, oh, you know, my doctor doesn't know what to do about this. They can't find what's wrong with me. And I go, okay, we don't need to know what's wrong with you. The salt will find what's wrong with you. And it works every single time. And it's just that here we are in Western Australia. WA actually stands for wait a while. If you go to Europe, there's whole towns that have sprung up because there is a salt mine or a salt spring or something like that. Carlsbad in the Czech Republic, very close to Prague, is one of them. There's a place called Čekočinek in Poland. which is only there because there is salt spring. So there is a whole bunch of salt spas, and they call them sanitariums, which are like a health spa, that have sprung up around the salt. Unfortunately, when they translate, they're not so good, so they have lovely things like, welcome to our brine pool. No, we need to change that. So the translations maybe aren't so good, but what they do is amazing, and that's how I came across it and brought it to WA. It was actually already here, but not in the same sort of vein. And we've helped a hell of a lot of people, and there's people that come back every week because it helps them. There's people who rely on it because they have emphysema or they have COPD or something that's life-threatening, and it keeps them breathing really well because it moves all that mucus. If you've got emphysema, we can't fix the scarring in your lungs, but we can make the rest of your lungs work the best they possibly can in the circumstances they have. And that, I can 100% tell you it'll work. And I know I hate doing that because it's like, oh yeah, you're saying that because it's your business. But that's not what it's about. I'm only there because it helps people. If it didn't help people, I would have shut up shop a long time ago. You know, because I'm not really doing great things by doing it. I'm not making myself rich or anything like that. That's not what it's about. It's about helping people. And it works, and I love it for that reason.
Okay.
Thank you. The greatest one of this year.
Now I can start singing. Okay, my name is Mauro. So if you want to pronounce properly, you can say no. The Maori from New Zealand.
I'm Maori.
Okay,
So okay.
try to say Maori, but Mauro with the O at the end. You get it. Anyway, now my work is I'm a couple therapist. Okay, and what I do, I try to help couples that have some problem in the relationship to figure out what's going on, and if I can, if they do the work, I can have them out, usually. Now, something come up today. You know that between 60-70% of the couples that have a newborn have in the first 3 years around 80% drop of happiness in their relationship. You knew this? Between 60 and 70% of the couple. So, if you are in a relationship and you will want to have a baby, think about it. What are you going to do if this happens? Okay? Now, we know that a couple, it takes 6 years to go from the first sign of unhappiness to actually reach out to someone like me to search for help. 6 years. Okay? Most of the time, that relationship is almost doomed.
That's right. We like that.
That's all good. He's right. Now, think about it. An average marriage, 7 years. 7 years time. In 7 years time, couples start to have the first crack. Everybody talk about the 7th year of the marriage, you know? And what is important here to understand that both in the relationship have their needs and their wants, and both of them have their rights. It's not that one is more right to the other one. Both of them see the same situation in 2 different ways. But then reach a point that not able anymore to talk about. So they need someone that break up the relationship, try to understand what's going on, put together the points, and let them understand that if you want them to change, so you're part to change, you must be the part of the change. This happened last Monday. I was working with this couple, and he said, I change if she change. And she looked at him and said, well, I change if you change. I say, well, you know what? If you change, I change. And they look at me and say, whoa, why? What's going on? If you want to change the relationship, must be part of the change. If you look at two wheels running in circle in the same motion, okay, these two person in relationship, okay, arguing in negative way. If I stop one of the two and they change the motion, both of them will change the motion. So it's enough that one in the relationship changes the way that they talk. So the negative to the positive, to criticize, to be gentle, and to have manners, to be nice with the partner, to be defensive, to take responsibility of your part in the situation. So anyway, this is what I do. Thank you.
Well done.
Who found that helpful?
Who's got babies? I think everyone take
teenagers just like
You're just showing off. Okay, come on.
everyone can relate to that.
It's my baby.
I'm a grandparent.
Oh, beautiful. I thought it might be nice to have a female up next. Does any of our females would like to volunteer to come up next? Yes, up you come.
Please don't be shy with the drinks or the pizza, guys. Get into it. Just yeah, that's what it's there for. And I've brought an open
Okay,
now.
I would like to welcome to the stage Jill from Reimagine Consulting. And it's quite, I don't want to steal your pitch, so I think I might. No, not at all. And it's so lovely to meet you, and thank you so much for coming. Jill's been part of the group for a little while, and she's decided to come along to connect with the community. So, floor's over to you, Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
I'm so excited to be here, Lisa. It's really nice when you walk into a room and you can feel your nervous system just relax. It's like you know that you're in the energy of other people who feel the same way as you do. So thank you. I feel very at home here already. So my name is Jill Jensen and I am a co-founder of Reimagine Consulting. My other founder is Simone. And we work with business owners who are smart, they're driven, and they're super successful, probably all of you guys, but quietly, they're over it. So on paper, the business might look great, you know, it's doing well, but inside, maybe you're slightly dying, just a little bit. And there might be lots of reasons for that. Maybe you've actually outgrown what you've built 10 years ago. Maybe you've got bigger plans, you want to expand, but you feel like the rest of the team just don't get it or you can't find the right team members. So we help business owners realizing or stop pretending that they're actually fine and start building a business that's resilient, profitable, impactful, so purpose-driven business owners, and most of all self-sustaining. Because you probably know this, but 50% of businesses, whether they're small, medium, ASX listed businesses, they fail. They go bankrupt or they cease to exist. And it's no surprise that number's actually been pretty consistent over the last 20 years. And I have a pretty good feeling that might increase over the next 10 to 15 years because the world is changing really, really fast. So we need our businesses to be resilient. So you don't need more hustle, what you need is a better strategy. So a kind of strategy that builds resilience, both in yourself and in your business, one that aligns your people, one that aligns you, and one that gives you back your time and your energy. So how do we do that? We do it through strategy, scenario planning, leadership coaching, professional development, and we love using self-awareness tools like Print and Reach. So what makes us different from your average business consultant? I hate saying that word because we're a lot more than that, and we're quite different to the average business consultant. We don't do cookie cutter anything. We go really deep. I'm a geophysicist by background, spent 17 years in corporate. So I've got the science, and both my business partner and I are really deep into energy. We understand the nature of reality, and we understand that you can have the best business, but if the business owner is not aligned with who they are, and if the brand and the strategy is not aligned with their deeper vision, then it's not going to work and it's not going to feel good. So if any of that resonates, feel free to come and have a chat or pass my name on to someone else. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If you could, yeah.
Well, that certainly resonated with me. Thank you, Jill. Somebody once said to me, I've got a background in network marketing, as I'm sure a lot of people have, and somebody made this comment once, and it's always stuck to me. You can have all the words you like come out of your mouth, but if you don't deeply resonate with them, they'll look at your forehead, and it's like there's something completely different written on your forehead. So you've got to speak from the heart. I thought we might give you a break from the camera, Paul, and I wanted to say thank you so much for doing the photographs tonight. Am I able to, or is anybody else able to hold the camera while Paul comes up and speaks? Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. We'll just wait until Lisa, isn't it? You got the Lisa? Has a little, yep, you're all good to go, Lisa. Thank you so much. So, Paul, I haven't known Paul for very long at all, but he is another really heart-centered person. He was introduced to our community by the beautiful Leanne Jones from Panacea Healing, who's also the co-host on the show that Aaron and I have called The One Thing every Thursday. And she felt like she wanted to introduce Paul into the community, and I can't express how much he has given already in so many different levels. And sorry, were you going to say something?
Just 100%.
100%, okay. On the sidelines there. So with that, Paul, I would love to hand over to you. And although you can speak on all things spiritual, you are going to speak about websites tonight, I believe. Yes, okay. There you go. Big thanks for Paul.
Hi, everyone. So some quick questions. Who has a website or works for a company that has a website? Raise your hand. So pretty much everyone. So pretty lucky, especially if you're a website designer. Firstly, I'm primarily just dealing with Wix and Squarespace. Now, who knows or who doesn't know about Wix and Squarespace? Okay, that's cool. So there's lots of different systems out there. The reason why I go with Wix and Squarespace is simply because I'm at the stage in my life where I like simplifying things. I'm not into complications, simple things work best. And so Wix and Squarespace are a complete package, and they're pretty easy, and you can pretty much maintain your website by yourself. I'm a different web designer. I'm not one of these people that you give me all the details and I go off in the corner and sort of type away and say, there's your website. I actually collaborate with you, and we literally build your website together. So I encourage my clients to pop in and tweak pictures and tweak pages and do stuff while we're building them, because that's how they learn. And then when we finish, hopefully they can actually look after their website themselves. So I'm a big fan of that side of things. And raise your hand if you want something you can easily take care of yourself. Okay, perfect. And the thing is we might not all have the time, and that's where I love being flexible, because honestly, where I'm at in my life, I'm in service. So I'm here to help people, I'm here to empower them, I'm here to make them better. And if a website is a tool that can expand who you are, because your business really is an extension of yourself. So if you can have something that lets your energy, your vibe get out there of who you are, reach your ideal audience, then if the website can help that, then perfect. And I can fit in with you in whatever you want, little bit slots, whatever works for you. And I love empowering people to get those results so that they can get out further and get their name out there and be able to do a whole lot better. So that's me.
Well, Lisa, as I'm trapped in the corner with no piece of paper,
There you go.
Jeez,
No, that you put baby in the corner.
you threw me under the bus there. Okay, well, you can see how much preparation I've got going on here. So, let's see. Let's have a look.
Just point at the sign.
What's this song? Here's one. My best Victoria Nichols from
Highly sponsored by.
That's it. That's very good.
All right, now let's have a bit of a look. Let's have a bit of a think. Let's ask Lisa Branderson. Why not? Look, now Lisa will do all sorts of things for you, but in fact, I'm not even going to explain what they are. Put your hands together for Lisa, everyone.
Lisa, do you want me to have it? Lisa? Yep.
You do
Done. Okay, so lovely to be here. My name is Lisa Brandis. I'm the founder and CEO of Intuitive Reiki International. I founded the business over 22 years ago, and I remember, I've got so many stories I was going to tell. I'm going to go with this one. When my daughter was 18 months old, we were on holiday in Molong in Sydney, and I had to boil a bottle, boil some water and put a bottle in to heat the bottle, because it was a retreat that had no running water, no electricity. It was totally off the grid. And I'd worked in a hospital for about 5 years, so I'd seen a lot of cases of burns. And my gorgeous little 18-month-old reached up on her tiptoes and pulled the boiling water down with herself. And the moment that happened, the screams just went right through me. Are there any parents in the room here? It's like your worst nightmare. And everything that you do to keep everything safe, there was this feeling of hopelessness, this feeling of, oh my God, what do I do? Now, there was no running water, so the first thing I wanted to do was run and rush her under cold water. Luckily, my auntie was there, and my husband's auntie turned on, we had bottled water, we soaked towels. We worked out straight away that it was her arm, from the top of her arm down to her fingertips, and it was red raw. And luckily, we raced her to a hospital, which was only 5 minutes down the road. But here's where the story gets really interesting, because this really painful, devastating experience became a real turning point for me in my career. Because while we're in the hospital now, bear in mind, I'd sat and entertained children as Captain Starlight. So I'd been around lots of nurses, lots of procedures. Even still, when my little baby was in the hospital, the doctor came and said, we're going to ice the burn. And so he got ice water with ice, wrapped in a soaking wet towel, and wrapped it around her arm. And she, as you can imagine, didn't stop the crying, hit the roof. And intuitively, every part of my mother instinct was screaming no. Even part of my intellect was saying, I didn't think we iced burns. So I did what every mother does and said to the doctor, I didn't think we iced burns. And I was dismissed. Now, this was back, she's now 17, before we had Google and we could have gotten on our phones and checked it. I just had to swallow that feeling. So fast forward, there was a moment when I remembered at that time that I was a Reiki master. So, and when you learn these tools, that when you give someone Reiki, the energy moves through you as a channel and overflows to the person you're healing. So as I gave her Reiki, she settled and calmed and went to sleep. Really quickly, we went to the hospital in the city, and the doctor told us that the treatment that they did was not what they do anymore. It wasn't what was recommended. So knowing that, I made a decision to make sure that I learn and do everything I can to trust my intuition, and to make sure that I understand how to have the courage to share what I know is right. And I've spent 22 years empowering others to trust their intuition and to make a difference in the world with Reiki healing, intuition, and channeling. So you can find me on the website, intuitivereiki.com.au. I I've got a podcast, and I would love to speak to you and help you in any way that I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I think most of us can resonate with that. You know, when you get that knot in your stomach and you know that something just isn't right, but your head and your heart aren't in alignment. So that's a really good point. Thank you. Clarence, we'd love for you to come up and share. Clarence's business is Marketlytics, and I'm really excited about what you're going to be sharing with us, because you're going to be talking about what was really not something any of us were familiar with only a few years ago, and that's artificial intelligence in marketing. So please come on up and share with us your pitch.
First of all, I have to say there's not enough Asian people who didn't do it, especially Chinese people, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? All right. Anyway, I'm from Clarence Marketlytics, and we are online pay-per-click advertising specialists. We are also LinkedIn outreach specialists, and we work with lawyers, but also many other types of service-based businesses and certain e-commerce businesses that we're able to help. So my robot dog, Blanchie, has written this for me, and I'm going to try to read emotively the script. AI has changed the game, but most businesses are still playing by the old rules. At Marketlytics, we embed AI into every stage of the marketing cycle: paid, organic, and planning, what we call the POP advantage. Paid through our business acceleration map and the Facebook ads playbook sequencing. We use AI to craft, test, and deploy ad campaigns that get better results faster. We've replaced guesswork with predictive angle testing, dynamic creative, and lead quality modeling, delivering results like 396 leads in 30 days with just $2,000 ad spend, while others pay over $600 per lead. Organic. Most businesses waste time creating content no one reads. We use AI to generate, rewrite, and atomize content across all 5 awareness stages, guided by our BAM framework. The result: strategic content mapped by intention, published for under $100 per month, and aligned with the real lead capture logic. You get visibility and conversions without burning time or budget. And if you are doing organic marketing, like posting on LinkedIn or Facebook, or LinkedIn outreach or Facebook outreach, there is a cost per lead for that. That is your time or your VA's time at their cost. So organic is not really free marketing after all. On the planning side, this is the part that turns marketing from an expense to a forecastable asset. Our systems use AI to model capacity, as in your capacity or your team's capacity. Simulate lead flow from paid or organic, and project ROI across campaigns based on your pricing model and your pricing schedule and predicted income. Whether you're hiring, launching, or scaling, we can show you what works before a single dollar is spent, using scenario logic built through Pillar. So Marketlytics isn't just an agency, we're a systems-first, data-backed performance partner, built by an ex-lawyer, led by strategy, powered by automation. Everything we do is engineered to lower cost per lead, increase conversion certainty, and cut campaign waste. If you're still planning by a spreadsheet, guessing your next ad, or writing content by hand, you're 3 steps behind. With POP and Marketlytics, you finally market like you mean it. Thank you.
Was that a robo dog? A robo dog, you said?
Yeah, named after a real dog.
Did you tell robo dog you had 3 minutes?
I said 2 minutes actually. I put emotion to it. That's why
first floor.
That was very good. And I'm sorry that we don't have enough Chinese people here. You'll have to invite more next time.
If I can find any that think like us.
What was that?
If I can find any that think like us.
You don't think so? Oh, I've got my two sister-in-laws are Chinese, so I'll invite them next time maybe. Oh, so is everybody enjoying all the content tonight? Fantastic. So we're now going to hear from Emily from Vendely. Did I pronounce that correctly? All right, excellent. And I'm really looking forward to hearing this one. Looking forward to hearing them all, but I think this is going to be really interesting because you're going to be talking about mobile vendors. Anyway, I don't want to give it all away. So welcome, Emily.
Okay, this seems to be the way to start these things. So who here has eaten from a food truck or had a coffee from a coffee van before? Okay, great. So everyone on the line, everyone here put their hands up. Hopefully you did too. So my name is Emily and I've recently launched Vendely is a platform that makes it incredibly easy for event organizers to find and book mobile vendors for their events. So what you might not realize is those food trucks and coffee vans and any mobile businesses that you get products from, they are drowning in admin. It is actually incredibly hard for these mobile businesses to run their businesses and to find good quality events to go to. They have to fill out multiple applications, forms, and there's a bunch of compliance documentation that they have to do for the councils. Why did I start this business? Well, I actually started a coffee van business in 2018, and I realized very quickly that there are so many inefficiencies in this industry. And I wanted to use technology to solve that problem and to automate a bunch of those processes, making it easier for event organizers, mobile vendors, and councils, and to just uplift the industry as a whole. So Vendely is a two-sided marketplace. Mobile vendors have a profile that they can share with any prospective clients, and event organizers can come on, they can search for a vendor that is in their local area, is verified, and most importantly, their live availability. So this is a unique value proposition that no other platform is providing. Instead of having to scroll through Facebook, Google, call around, you can see who is available in real time, and you can create a booking contract that is legitimate and secure. On the flip side, vendors have that security from their event organizers as well. You might not realize that there are a bunch of scam events out there that are asking for money from vendors, and in reality, they're not a real event. So this is why I've created Vendely. I'm here today to promote it. We've just launched. I'm also very passionate about this, and my mission is to really help these mobile businesses to survive and thrive, because there is an incredible churn in this industry. So thank you. Please check it out. It's www.vendely, VENDALY.com. And if you know of anyone that has a food truck, coffee van, or any business that services an event, please let me know. Or if you're an event organizer looking for a vendor, please reach out as well.
And I would like to introduce Aaron Malloy, because Aaron's going to come up and do a pitch about, yes you are, about Edge Radio and what the benefits are for businesses to advertise, either to have their own podcast or to advertise.
It was nice of you to do that as I put a mint in my mouth. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is the only folk like that didn't know what he was talking about?
I never know what I'm talking about. Well, thank you, Lisa, for that. I really appreciate it. Look, obviously, we're very proud about what we do here at Edge, and we're very much a community-based organisation. Everything we do is really thinking about the community and smaller business. I come from a corporate background as far as corporate radio, and the big players, that kind of thing. And quite frankly, the small player can't get involved anymore. It's just, apart from the price, you're simply kept out of the market. We've got something very unique here. And as much as obviously we do digital radio across the world, to give you a bit of an idea, we're typically doing about about 9 million independent listens per year, right across the world. So if you've got a product you want to market across the world, that's fantastic. Obviously, if you want to market something locally, that is also great too. Again, that's kind of where the community really comes into play. Obviously, the networking is very, very strong. The way we do advertising here is many different levels of things. What we do, run station advertising, literally just good old fashioned ads on the radio, simple as that. We also do, look, there's nothing more basic, but nothing more important than the foundation of your actual branding there. That is it. You're getting into people's ears. That's really what it comes down to. And you're actually creating a lot of trust by doing that. The other things that create trust, obviously, is podcasts. Podcasts, where everybody knows a podcast, we're all podcasts, and ones, you know. You might have the most incredible podcast in the world, but if no one watches it, unfortunately, you're getting nowhere. We have a wonderful way of distributing here at Edge through all the different networks. We obviously use all the different podcasting opportunities possible on all the platforms, but we use very much I kind of call it a spider web sort of mentality here. Rather than put all your eggs in one basket, rather than go, hey, let's go really big on YouTube, and then next week they change your algorithm on you and you go nowhere, or Spotify, whatever the case may be, and you get your 0.03% for every play that you get on Spotify. Rather than do that, we throw out to lots and lots of different places in a spider web sort of mentality, so that you've got a lot of coverage, millions and millions of people. But apart from that, the other thing you've got is you're protected, so you don't have to worry about the change of algorithms and that sort of thing. So that's a really, really big positive thing. Obviously, with some, say, a business like yourself, being local vendors, like when I was listening to you speak before, that's just something that just really rings true to me. I mean, I've done a lot of that sort of thing, a lot of MC for events out on the street. I'm fond of the odd food van from time to time, and everybody needs a good love, a great cup of coffee. So, from the point of view of promoting, say, local events, it's a really, really good thing too. Being in the digital space, you're not controlled anymore by just that local area. We have actually got an FM license, which will be coming on board very, very soon, which will cover about 1.2 million people in this vicinity, which is obviously really, really strong for those who have something local, because we want to look after local as much as we want to look after international. So it's a big thing. So that's essentially the main things. But the podcasting is very, very popular. We are being very unique by the fact that we actually make podcasts that we run live to radio. Completely unique, as I can understand. And also, people can actually get online and interact and ask questions. That is just massive. It's just such a big thing. So, and also those who come through, there'll be questions from other formats and platforms that you can't actually get. You can literally read those later, and you've actually got a lead. You've got a qualified lead there. That's a big thing. You're not just going out there into the ether. You've literally got their IP address or their Facebook address or whatever it happens to be. So there's a lot of opportunities, whether it be radio, podcasting, or a combination of the two. Or you could be like Muro in there, who's a wonderful business, but right now he's doing a rock show. So we've got a bit of everything going, and it's just wonderful to be able to be involved in something like this that brings passions to life and bringing communities together. That's our big fundamental thing. So that's pretty much where we stand. So if you would like to advertise with Edge, we'd absolutely love to bring you on board. The pricing is unbelievably inexpensive compared to your traditional media, because quite frankly, the overheads are not the same. So that's a pretty sort of big difference. And to give you a bit of an idea, you've got some very big stations here. And I won't go through names, but a station I used to work for here in Western Australia, to buy their frequency cost them $26 million. $26 million. You've got to sell a lot of advertising to recoup that before we even touch anything else. So we're very lucky because we're not throwing a massive net over everybody. We're actually going targeted. We have it. So we'll actually be able to aim your advertising to the show. So if you've got a particular product that's in the health and wellness space, guess what? We'll place it in a show that's health and wellness. Okay, we're not going to be throwing it out to someone who's looking at a finance show. So that sort of thing works really well. Literally got advertising packages from as little as $300 a month, which is just, that is literally less than half the price of one ad on normal commercial radio. So that gives you a bit of an idea. Podcasting is very popular, and again, we can help you with the distribution of that. That's a big deal. So I think that's pretty much what I've got to say. Thank you. Thank you very much. We can do that. What would I do without Lisa? Honestly. Yeah, honestly, what would I do without Lisa? She just tells me what I'm going to say.
Reading on the bit of paper.
I know. I don't do well with the reading of the paper, clearly. I want to bring Kat back up, because what we can do later on, we can do a little bit of snippy of the show and all that sort of thing, and put a little bit more concise sort of product out there so people can download it. So I would like you to come up and just talk a little bit about Salt Room, just like you did before, and cover sort of what's so special about you. Hands together. Yes. Put hand, everyone.
Okay, salt. Salt will change your life. I can't say it more better than that. More better, it's very bad. But it makes a point. Like we say on here, all these little things, allergies, acne, asthma, and all these things will be helped if you come and breathe salt. It is our natural immune system booster. It's here on the planet already. We're here on the planet already. It's hard to believe that we're born on a planet where the things that help us aren't readily available, where we have to actually make them and make them up and all the rest of it. Surely everything we need for survival is already on this earth. Otherwise we wouldn't be on this earth. And this is why there's already salt in the oceans, there's salt lakes in the larger continents, and why natural salt is so beneficial to us. Basically our bodies, our water, salt, and a bit of fat thrown in. We want to get rid of the fat bit. But the water and salt is really good stuff. If we can keep that up to our systems, we'll be healthy. And I firmly believe this because I have not been sick in 8 years. Whereas I was the all the time person, tissue to my face, always sniffing about something, always. And this is how I found salt rooms in Europe. I met some people and they were like, my God, we're so sick of your tissues and boxes of tissues and bins full of tissues. We're going to take you to a salt cave. And I thought, yay, we're going to go for a drive up the mountains, look at some caves. We pulled up at a tin shed. I was like, what? But when we went inside, it was similar to what I've got going now. And I did 3 in a week, and I didn't sniff for about 4 weeks. And I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to do this when I get back to Australia. Nobody's going to hire me. I can't work on Channel 7 anymore because I have dreadlocks. So I'm going to have to do something different. And I did, and it's working. You know, it's helping a lot of people. And that's where I get what I need to get out of it, because people come up to me all the time and go, oh my God, you know, since I've been here, I feel so good. Or since, oh my God, I can breathe through my left nostril. Oh my God, I've been coughing for months and I haven't been able to get rid of it. I've come and done 2 sessions and I'm not coughing anymore. I couldn't believe I woke up this morning and I hadn't coughed. You know, all these kind of things. It is amazing. You just have to try it. I can guarantee you will love it.
How often do you need it, Kat?
If you're just doing it for wellness, it's really up to you. To get over, say you've had a bad bout of, I don't know, COVID or something, and you've got long COVID, you can't get rid of it. You need to do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday scenario, and then step back. And from there, you'll see where you're at with it. It might be that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're fine, and you don't need to come back, but it may be that a week later, you're like, I can just feel a bit in there, I might go and have another session. It's not something you have to do to get over it. For wellness, yes, if you could do it once a week, it'd be beautiful. I have studies that say twice a week will stop you getting a virus. I didn't get any virus over that last thing we had. What was that called?
It's a race.
So it's really an individual thing. I don't want to say to you, you have to do 2 a week or 2 a month, because if you've got hay fever, then your situation is going to be different to someone who's just got over COVID, which will be different to someone who keeps getting pneumonia and their chest keeps filling up. But one thing I can tell you is everyone that comes in and says, oh my God, you know, and we have GPs that send people to us now, and they come in and say, oh, you know, my doctor doesn't know what to do about this. They can't find what's wrong with me. And I go, okay, We don't need to know what's wrong with you. The salt will find what's wrong with you, and it works every single time. And it's just that here we are in Western Australia. WA actually stands for wait a while. If you go to Europe, there's whole towns that have sprung up because there is a salt mine or a salt spring or something like that. Carlsbad in the Czech Republic, very close to Prague, is one of them. There's a place called Čekočinek in Poland, which is only there because there is salt spring. So there is a whole bunch of salt spas, and they call them sanitariums, which are like a health spa, that have sprung up around the salt. Unfortunately, when they translate, they're not so good, so they have lovely things like, welcome to our brine pool. Yeah, we need to change that. So the translations maybe aren't so good, but what they do is amazing, and that's how I came across it and brought it to WA. It was actually already here, but not in the same sort of vein. And we've helped a hell of a lot of people, and there's people that come back every week because it helps them. There's people who rely on it because they have emphysema or they have COPD or something that's life-threatening, and it keeps them breathing really well because it moves all that mucus. If you've got emphysema, we can't fix the scarring in your lungs, but we can make the rest of your lungs work the best they possibly can in the circumstances they have. And that, I can 100% tell you it'll work. And I know I hate doing that because it's like, oh yeah, you're saying that because it's your business. But that's not what it's about. I'm only there because it helps people. If it didn't help people, I would have shut up shop a long time ago. You know, because I'm not really doing great things by doing it. I'm not making myself rich or anything like that. That's not what it's about. It's about helping people. And it works, and I love it for that reason.
Hey.
Thank you. The greatest one of this year.
Yeah, it certainly is. What I wanted to do, Aaron, was as Sophia came through the door, would you like to say a couple of words? Because we've got the elections coming up, and we've got a politician here. Is that all right with you, Aaron? Too bad if it's not.
No,
Obviously.
it's absolutely not. And I want to
Did
actually.
you want to come up?
Yeah, I'll throw something
you
on
do,
if I may. So everyone's spoken, which is great. I just want to actually say, Sophia, come up here. Unfortunately, I'm involved in politics. Something an accidental mistake in my life. And to be absolutely frank, we make lots and lots of jokes about politicians. I'm standing up here with this lady because I actually believe in her. She, it's very, very true. You're actually on our side. You're actually working for us, which is truly what you need. A representative. That's what they're supposed to be. It's not supposed to be us versus them. So, you're very much welcome here at Edge because of the fact that, you're the real deal. And I don't agree with you on everything. We've got a few things we argue about.
That's all right.
Yeah, and it's okay. We can still be friends and walk away from that. And I think it's really important. So, look, I'd love for you to have a few words and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yes, I'm a politician. I'm just as shocked as everyone else is, by the way. If someone had told me a few years ago that I was going to be in politics, the analogy that I use for that is that the chances of me being on the first terraforming mission to Mars would have been about the same. So here we are. My background is as an RN initially. I studied in the Netherlands for that. Then I became a naturopath and then a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. What that means is that my educational background covers 3 different healing philosophies, and I'm able to understand and bridge the differences between those philosophies and able to explain diseases and health in all of those different ways as well. So I love salt. In Chinese medicine, salt is amazing for the kidneys, right? And when you look at some of the diseases on there that you find back in Chinese medicine, they all relate back to weak kidneys. So with asthma, for instance, if the kidneys are weak, people are unable to grasp the air. They have trouble breathing in whereas they might be able to breathe out. And that's why salt helps the whole body. The kidneys in particular hold the vital chi, the vital energy, your life force. So boosting your kidneys will always mean that you will have longevity and better health. Now, why I'm in politics? The universe put me here for some reason, and it's challenging, okay? So I'm much more of a hippie, a herbalist, and I've ended up in this very corporate, very serious sort of place. And just like I'm able to bridge between different healing modalities, I seem to be able to bridge between people and politics and sit in the middle there, which is interesting. I think I'm probably one of the very few empaths that's in politics. So going into work, into that chamber there, I have crystals. You help me with that. Yeah. I need to ground myself, and at times it is very much a hostile environment. Now, for whatever reason, I seem to be able to cope. I hope to get another term. So we had the election nearly a month ago. I still don't know if I'm in. Intuitively, it feels like I will have another term in there, but we need to wait for the counting to finish, and that should happen next week after Parliament opens again. So, yeah, that's my story.
Thank you.
for listening.
So has everyone spoken?
I believe so, unless anybody that said they didn't want to speak now wants to speak.
No one's going to change their plan? No, okay, well, that's all. Oh, no, I'm not, we're not pushing, we do not bully around here, okay? No, I just thought we'd open up and see. Also, just want to, we're going to let you stop the feed in a moment. I just want to thank you all for being here today, and it really means a lot to me. We're building a wonderful community here. We're going so well. Like, things are going so well. And it's lovely to have great people who jump on the train with that. So with that, I'm going to turn the feed off, and let's have some drinks, let's have some laughs, throw all the seriousness away, and have a bit of fun. This is all said and done, so sundown, so let's just enjoy ourselves and do this really weird thing, okay? Let's be social with each other. Thank you very much. See you soon.